Welcome back as we return to Ace Attorney Theater to finish off Case 3, Turnabout Big Top. Sit back and enjoy. Good morning, Max.
Yeah. Good morning, sweeties.
You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today.
I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it.
Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina!
How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today?
Of course I did! Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Mo said that?
So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end?
It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't...
Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience.
Fabulous! Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick?
Top of the morning to ya! Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go?
Mo.
Top of the morning to you, governor.
Top of the morning.
That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk.
Oh my, thanks.
So, how are you today, right?
Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit.
You mean Acro?
Oh, huh? You think he did it?
Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare.
If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses.
What are you going to do then, Nick?
I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today, we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth.
You're right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Regina watches?
Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today.
What's that supposed to mean?
She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime.
Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present, if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders.
Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand.
Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Name and occupation. Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Berry Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming.
This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened!
Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window? The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see, but honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front.
Did you see any of the other symbols?
I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with his latest bit of testimony? There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction?
You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats?
No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand!
Order! Order!
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth, and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today?
Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion,
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to be almost be scary. He is staying rather calm and collected.
Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up on myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
That's true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things... See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous.
She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man.
Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well? I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
Well... okay. Hate this. I hate when I do this. Well, I guess the performance is basically ruined now. Oh well. All because I can't freaking read. Okay, there we go. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one.
What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself.
Oh, order! Order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. All right, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, if this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling?
He was obviously here the entire time.
That's Acro's room?
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there could be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
It's an interesting theory. That's it? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here... She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster, and he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
I'm going to present some evidence.
So, what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry? What's that? A picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
The bust?
It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death, especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! See? This is how Acro is able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust.
Order! Order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster?
A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible! Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro. You can't run away from things that— Ow! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. Ah, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think?
I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over?
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean...
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No!
Order! This is unbelievable!
Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward!
So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow! The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The box has a remarkable weight. Weight?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required...
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down, then lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Of course I remember. It was on top of a table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. Ah! That means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Explain that! Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice! Ah! Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all.
All right, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room? A monkey?
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Gwa! Acro! Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order! Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as a murder weapon. Wait! Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron!
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that.
Oh! Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know! You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime! Ah! There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true! How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now! I won't! This is my chance to turn this trial around! When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? He saw Max's butt. Ow! I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw.
How is that possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off of the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in the right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
Oh, he caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
Fool! Him?
You are saying it was the victim himself? Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust? Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself! Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust, and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window, directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim, you wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window, so he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you! Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you unraveled the trick to this magic case.
The problem is Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's.
Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court. He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night, but the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Ah! Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust.
Order! Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. Well, what do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
I can't believe it! Acro! It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is! And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group! Jeebus, am I that hated? Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? Psst, But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why...
Hey! Hey, pal! You're gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence?
I'm Detective Gumshoe.
Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways.
Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective?
Well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything, but everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma doesn't seem in control of things in there. Didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion.
Final plans?
Uh-huh. That reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it, and that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me.
Oh, one more thing.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? From me?
It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils.
A entire dairy's worth of milk? For me?
Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling.
Yes, Your Honor?
Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. There's no need to cross-examine this witness.
What's that?
Why was the ringmaster murdered? There's no need to delve into that bit of testimony when I know the answer already.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry Ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro. You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What?
Order, order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court?
Oh! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Regina Berry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say, "You're wrong." That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to...
Oh! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's coat tail.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Well, Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there is just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry.
Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her, which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina.
That's incredible!
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today. Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he let the bust fly. Hey, Nick, isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it.
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes, what about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The the incident 6 months ago. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron!
Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually...
Achoo! 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 Whoa! Achoo! Achoo!
Whoa! Ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-na-na-na-na. Thank you, Ashran, for the raid. I am Doexis. I am currently not using my VTuber model because I am pretending that this is a one-man show of Ace Attorney. You know, just think of it as like a digital theater production done by one man. That's the thing, classics. I never wear pants because I wear shorts. Ha! What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside.
Another unbelievable conclusion! Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying?
That's what he called lollipop pants. No, never! I would call those minuscule... I would call those child's underwear.
Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim?
Who is this?
That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead.
Regina, she did that to him?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
Lion?
Miss Regina Berry, is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder, he's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat.
That's just a scarf.
Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina?
There is something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal, but out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
It still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However, lions sneeze.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me! What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object! For objection's sake! Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot! It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro? You don't mean... You can't mean... Witness!
Are you confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion? I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
What would that problem be?
The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim?
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon?
The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something! This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. It might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but... Well, why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma Total Justice. I guess. I figured with you that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright? The bust wasn't in my room. Yes, it is, Aaron, and I'm trying to put on a show here. I hope you like. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? Well, what about them, Mr. Wright? And no offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Stream title. Well, I mean, that's what I'm calling it, Ace Attorney Theater. Which is basically what it is. Or what I'm trying to have it be. Ah! Do something, Nick! Don't let this case slip away! The bust, where is it now? Where's the bust right now? You're Phoenix Wright! You know where that bust is! I'm sure you do! There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is?
It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support. Ah! I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness.
Oh, first affiliate stream. There's not really room for that. Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. Huh? What? We need time to do what? Ow! Why are you the most surprised person in here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait, you can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well, the defense may proceed.
He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom.
It's obviously where?
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? Thank you, Ashran. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could hide it. Shoot, you're right. Yeah, that would probably cut down on space. It's what it's like to be an autist. You don't have hindsight until someone else points it out to you. under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool! How could you? I do like to make snappy titles, but I do like to make sure that people, at least coming to this, know where it is in the games that I'm doing this. But that's probably just me. Anyway, 8. You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, 2 of them. 2 of them? Miss Franziska von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright? What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch a surprise search on my room last night? There were 2 pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of the court hiding the murder weapon? There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that.
It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro?
Yes, Your Honor?
Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro... All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. Yeah, and that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. How dreadful.
So, are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict.
Not quite a murderer. Bat's still in a coma, so he's alive, but for all intents and purposes, he might as well be dead.
This court is adjourned.
Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the Ringmaster, Regina, and Bat? Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to.
Many congrats, but only at max 1,000,000 of them!
Thank you.
What's with the vibe in this room?
We're just thinking about Acro.
No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy.
Huh?
She's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault! Sweetie Pie. That and Acro, they're never coming back! Now everyone's gonna split up! Regina, Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean that Acro, is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? The rest of her life knows she murdered 2 of her friends. Sort of, yeah. Something heavy she's gonna have to deal with, but thankfully this wake-up call to reality should help. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that? Yep. Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know? I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... Uh-huh. I know! What? I'll do it! I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes! Until he opens his eyes, and then until he can meet Acro again! That's so sweet of you, Regina. I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind.
Hey, Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So, whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract.
I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now?
That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision.
What is it?
I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster.
Needs to remove her eyes, fixes the problem. Oh, that's so... no. Auron, no. Too far.
I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen!
The best circus the world has ever seen?
Don't laugh!
That's quite the goal. Yay! I can't wait! Then I guess that changes things.
Huh?
There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen.
Max.
Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous! What do you say, big guy?
I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you.
Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you into court today? We've got to work together to make the Very Big Circus bigger than it's ever been.
No. Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Very Big Circus without Regina Berry. Max? Nick, it seems like everything is going to turn out all right here. I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats.
It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats.
I see. What made the case?
Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you?
It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean Mr. Wright?
Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back.
Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
I know it's a short stream, but that's where I usually stop for these things. My voice. I like each stream to be a big segment to focus on it. To focus on that segment. Whew. Cheers me on? Well, you're cheering me off is what you're doing, Gray. Just started. You know what? You know what? Fine. I'll make a special exception. All right, we'll continue into the start of the final case. Gray, you've taken my sub virginity. Couldn't help myself. What are you talking about? No, Aron. Greg, both of you got me to change my mind. We're gonna continue. My fingers are not working. That's not right. Oh, you did? That's weird. It didn't seem to show up, at least in the feed for me. Very weird. And I'm sorry that I have nothing for you, any of you, to play with. I had some emotes that I thought were ready to use. Well, it's gone now. That's what it is. Ooh, Prime sub. Thank you very much. Off stream. Well then, let's see. Let's make it a secret then. Well, at any rate, again, sorry for having nothing prepared for you to play with, either with like channel points or like emotes. I had emotes that I thought were ready, but then Twitch was like, it has to be a square shape. Where I'm like, it looks pretty square to me. What the hell's the problem here? Well, that just means you took it and gave it to someone else. Great. Anyway, continuing on to the next case. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Who will be this year's Grand Prix champion? Who will be our hero of heroes? Will it be last year's runner-up, Jammin' Ninja? Or maybe Captain Saipan, all the way from the lovely tropical island of Saipan? I see the students of a certain starry school are ready to go, and global hero Onyakopon doesn't want to go home without the prize. We hope Lady Luck is with all our heroes tonight. And now, the winner of the 3rd annual Hero of Heroes Grand Prix is me. Whoa! The true hero of the night has appeared in our midst! It looks like this year's Grand Prix goes to this fantastic warrior! The Nickel Samurai! Too bad, Jammin' Ninja. Looks like the title eluded you again this year.
All right, yes! Did you hear that, Nick? Did you? The Nickel Samurai, he did it!
Yeah, he sure did. I'm getting too old for this. I'm proud of the guy for doing the series justice.
So the person everyone was cheering for, I guess he got the prize? Yup! You know who we're talking about, right, Pearly? The Nickel Samurai! No, every Sunday I only watch the educational channel's Kids Masterpiece Theater. Okay, that's it. From now on, it's the Nickel Samurai. All the kids watch it. Do you like the Nickel Samurai too, Mr. Nick?
Nah, Nick's an old fart, so he's not allowed to watch it anymore. That's right, but I do like Kids Masterpiece Theater.
Hey, I didn't know you were so young at heart, Nick. Mr. Nick, you're a grown-up. You're not allowed to watch it anymore. You're supposed to act your age and have interests that match.
Pearl, that's very toxic behavior of you.
It's very important. Aw, give it a rest, Pearly.
Looks like I made the right choice in inviting everyone here. I'm glad you're all having a good time.
Ah, it's like a dream.
Too bad for the Jammin' Ninja, though. Last year he lost to the Pink Princess, warrior of little old Tokyo. I thought this might be his year.
Yeah. Oh, hey, did anyone else think that the Jammin' Ninja looked a bit different today? Different? What do you mean? Well, he wasn't carrying his bright red guitar.
Hey, you're right. Strange he'd walk around without his signature guitar.
I will never understand these people and their shows. Anyway, Mr. Powers, thank you very much for tonight.
It was nothing. I owe you one, so it's just my way of saying thanks.
Hey, Nick, come on! It's time to get going to the lobby. There's a post-ceremony stage show that's supposed to start real soon.
And then I heard there's going to be a press conference after that.
A press conference? Is he going to make a speech about winning this year's prize?
Well, not exactly. Something about the Nickel Samurai confessing something.
Confessing? Sounds pretty serious.
Ah, Nick, come on! You don't want us to be the last ones there, do you? Yeah, Mr. Nick, do you?
Why me? The show doesn't even start for another 20 minutes. Wow, what is with this place? It looks like I've stumbled into Oz or something. Way in the back, there's a sign for the bathroom. Maybe I should visit it while I can before the show starts. Oh, wait. Okay. Compared to the flowers on the other side of the hall, these are much more gorgeous. Let's see. Record companies, fan clubs, company workers, family. Carrying all these flowers home would be hard, I think. I can understand flowers in front of the dressing rooms, but what are stuffed bears doing here? Could it be that there's an action star with a soft spot for teddy bears? Nah, can't be. There's a piece of paper taped to the door that says Juan Corrida's room. Juan Corrida. His name just sounds like a star's name. I've heard it before, but I don't know anything about him at all. To Mr. On Guard from the Global Studio staff. Ah, it'd be nice if lawyers got flowers too. Something like, to Mr. Wright from all your grateful clients. There's a piece of paper taped to the door that says Matt Onguard's room. Matt Onguard. I've heard that name before. Oh yeah, Maya's always yammering about him like the obsessed fan she is. There are toilets in each room in this hotel, but since all sorts of events are held here, there are bathrooms for people who aren't staying here to use as well. Perfect for people like me who can't afford to stay here in the first place. Thank you very much for inviting us today.
Aw, it was nothing, really. Guys like us don't get to come to a place like this often, so I thought I'd invite you all.
Hey, Mr. Powers, what have you been up to lately?
Well, since the Pink Princess successfully wrapped up last month, I've been on a kids' exercise show, while wearing a rabbit mask over my face.
Oh, I see.
I'm still really sorry about all the headache I caused you that time, Mr. Wright.
Ah, well, what's done is done, so let's forget about it. This is Will Powers. He's an action star. His popularity exploded when he was the Steel Samurai, and he was the first case Maya worked on with me. It's too bad you look scary, or people know you're a real softie who's good with kids.
Thanks.
I can't believe they're going to make a movie based on the Nickel Samurai. I can't believe it either, but for a different reason. The Steel Samurai, an epic story of one hero in a desperate fight against his arch-nemesis, the evil magistrate, in the city of Neo-Old Tokyo. And last year they started a new series, The Nickel Samurai. The new series seems to be a hit with the kids too.
I'm really attached to the Steel Samurai as a show, so I was hoping that maybe I'd get the chance to do something in this new one.
Yeah, it's too bad. It'd be awesome to see you with the new actor Matt Onguard. He's super popular right now. Mr. Onguard? Looks like Pearls doesn't know who he is. This year it's going to be the Nickel Samurai versus the Jammin' Ninja at the box office. Jammin' Ninja? Who's that again? So who is this Jammin' Ninja again? He's a hero, duh! His symbol is the bright red guitar he's always carrying. A ninja who's always carrying around a bright red guitar? How does that even work? With a scarf around his neck and a guitar in hand, he rises to stardom in an ancient time. A ninja who becomes a star? Yeah, a ninja who becomes a star.
There's a strong rivalry between the two of them. Global Studios' Nickel Samurai and Worldwide Studios' Jammin' Ninja. They even air at the same time.
You know what I heard? I heard those two don't get along at all. The Nickel Samurai's Onguard and the guy who plays the Jammin' Ninja, I mean. The Nickel Samurai speaks French? Oh, you mean Matt Onguard, the actor. I guess even the world of heroes isn't a sparkling, happy place.
Yeah. Sounds like the post-ceremony show is about to start.
Oh, right! I'm so pumped! I wonder if he's going to show off his special move today, Nickel Samurai Smelting!
Actually, what I'm interested in most is a press conference.
You mean the big confession the Nickel Samurai is going to make after the show? So what is it? Don't you know what it's about, Mr. Powers?
Well, I'm not the Steel Samurai anymore, so I don't have any idea.
Bah!
Sorry. So I guess you are all going to the press conference then?
And yeah, of course!
If that's the case, then here, take these tickets so you can get in.
Thank you very much. Well, let's get going to the lobby. It looks like it's over this way, Mr. Nick. Okay, for great justice! Only a really gaudy hotel would have such a large, gaudy lobby to match. I think they're going to have the post-ceremony show over there. They're using a compact stage, I see. Ooh, I'm all ready to use my special samurai power. Maya looks like she's ready to start a fight. Your attention, please. Your attention, please. The Nickel Samurai's post-ceremony stage show will not be held tonight due to unforeseen circumstances. What? Why? Ow! You didn't have to pinch me. Pinch yourself if you don't believe it. We are asking for everyone's cooperation at this time.
So please, stay where you are. This is a special request from the police.
Police? Did they just say the police?
Do you want me to go check out what's going on?
Wait, I'll come with you. Freeze! You two, didn't you hear the announcement just now? It just finished telling you not to move. That voice, I've heard that voice somewhere before. Honestly, youth these days can't be bothered to listen to other people when they talk. Just the other day, it was the same thing. There's a small four-bridge sign that says, beware bridge out, and along comes a snot-nosed little punk. We're on the bridge. I tried to tell the boy the bridge was not dangerous, but would he listen? No, of course not. He said he'd be careful, and only bridge out part was dangerous. I'm not kidding you here. The kid said that and really meant it. Well, I really let him have it then and knocked him off that bridge. Honestly, kid these days don't know right from wrong, I tell you.
This non-stop chatter.
It can't be. Miss Oldbag. What is it, you young whippersnappers? Do I know you? Wait, you! You're Powers, aren't you?
Yeah, about what happened back then.
You didn't even get nominated this year, did you? Oh, that's right. You're doing that children's exercise program trying to play nice.
Yeah, that's me. Thankfully, I still have a job.
I love that show, and you're a hoot. You're the big brother character, right? You see, with your face covered by a mask, I know you're about that. What a work of art, but that's how it is, you know. I mean, if you don't wear the mask, who knows how many TVs you break? Really, shame on you. They're getting what they deserve. That's why I thought you should be anywhere.
What are you doing here?
Look at my uniform and tell me you can't tell I'm a member of security. But that outfit, annoying noisy brats, get the blaster.
She's such a strain.
Miss Soulbag, what are you doing here? What happened to your position at Global Studios? Oh, that old place? Well, since that incident, they've been letting people go. When they cut the security team, I got the pink slip. Oh, what incident? What did you do? I didn't do anything, you young'un! Don't you remember that incident a year ago? When this lady got on the witness stand and testified. Yeah. And you, weren't you the one who was bullying me, this fragile girl at heart?
I plead the fifth.
But you know, I think maybe I rubbed the upper management the wrong way by testifying. Yes, that has to be it. Everything is all your fault. Me? I thought about being a bodyguard at first after being handed old Pinky. You? A bodyguard? For your friend, that fiery, good-looking guy with the red jacket and the ruffles. Mr. Edgeworth? But
that sort of arrangement would be entirely too troublesome for me.
That's what he said to me. What did I ever do to deserve that? So did something happen? I don't have all the details, but it looks like another one of those incidents happened again.
An incident? Like a murder kind of incident?
Maybe. You see, I'm a bit of a devilish woman, so wherever I go, showers of blood are sure to follow. Bet you didn't know that.
Then shouldn't you quit being a security guard, at least for other people's sake?
Silence, whippersnapper! Hey, Nick.
What is it? I don't like that devilish smile playing on your lips.
Let's make like we're going to the bathroom and check things out.
No way! The police told us not to go anywhere, remember?
Huh? How boring! You're such a boring guy. You've got no motivation, no spirit. Huh? What's going on? Are you giving Mystic Maya trouble again, Mr. Nick?
Not you too, Pearls. Please don't stick your little nose into this one.
So listen to this, Pearly. This one time at lawyer camp, Nick...
Oh, okay, I get it. Let's go take a look.
Yay! I knew you couldn't say no to me, Nick. That's right. You'd walk over miles of hot coals for Mystic Maya, wouldn't you, Mr. Nick?
That would be every time we work on a case together.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go already. You can come along too, Pearly. Yeah, goody, I get to come.
There's nothing really out of the ordinary here.
Are you looking for the incident that the old lady was talking about?
Doesn't look like it happened here. Well, we'd better go look somewhere else.
All right, then, let's try.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Are you by chance Miss Maya Fey? Yeah, that's me. You have a phone call waiting for you at the front desk. A call? I wonder if it's someone from Karine Village. What's wrong, Mystic Maya? Oh, nothing. You guys go on ahead and I'll be right there, okay? Okay. Right this way, Miss Fey. Let's go look somewhere else now, Mr. Nick. Yeah, okay. Hey, this is a little exciting and a little scary. I told you! I get people the info they want, which means that I've got a right to know. Nope, don't care.
Nope, don't care who you are, pal. We're still investigating, so you can't go in.
What's your problem? Just you wait. It'll be all over the morning paper. Scruffy detective's secret scandal revealed. You'll see, I'll get you back. Those two sound pretty serious. That southern accent can only mean... Hey, right! Hey, Lotta. Come on, do a gal a favor and tell this cop I'm just doing my job and I've got rights.
Ah, you!
Ah, Detective Gumshoe.
Hey, pal, help a guy out. Tell her that only the police are allowed here. This is the scene of a murder, so she should leave this to us pros.
A murder?
Aw, shoot, me and my big mouth.
See, I knew it. My gut instinct told me so. I always trust my gut. A murder, it said, and that's what it is. A genuine murder.
Hey, wait!
Yeehaw! A murder of a big star, no less.
Oh, man, I'm in trouble now.
So, Detective Gumshoe, a murder?
No, that's not it. I got my facts mixed up for a second there, pal.
Mr. Nick? Is the dead person the Nickel Samurai? Huh? Why do you ask? Well, Mystic Maya was rooting for him, so...
It wasn't the Nickel Samurai that got bumped. Actually, the Nickel Samurai is the one under suspicion of doing the bumping off.
What?
The guy that died was this hero named the Jammin' Ninja, pal.
The Jammin' Ninja? So the victim was the Jammin' Ninja? Mr. Jammin' Ninja?
He was on a really popular rival TV show called To the Nickel Samurai.
Oh!
The victim was the action star Juan Carita. He got a huge push and rode the express train to stardom. I mean, even I know who he is.
Yeah, even I recognize his face.
But I heard lately that Matt Engarde's been taking the wind out of his sail. I'm telling you, pal, as far as who's popular, those two are hogging all the limelight.
I guess there's no space for Mr. Powers at all, huh? Poor guy. Mr. Engarde, that's the Nickel Samurai, right?
Yep, I mean, no, you've got to say it with more oomph. The Nickel Samurai.
Anyway, so now that Juan Carita's gone, that means Mr. Engarde is the whole stage to himself, wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't bet on it, pal. We can't have that happen, you know.
Can't have that happen? What's that supposed to mean, I wonder? That woman with the big puffy hair that looks like cotton candy? You mean Lotta? That woman, she was there that time too, right? That time? When Mystic Maya did that channeling? Oh, that time. Well, Lotta's a journalist, so that's why she was there. Journalist.
It looks like she was hanging around here before the murder happened.
Hanging around?
Yeah, hiding in wait in front of the Jammin' Ninja's door, pal.
But why would she?
She wouldn't tell me, pal. Just said something about getting my big scoop.
Scoop? What sort of news could she be after?
The Nickel Samurai. He really took the Grand Prix tonight.
Maya's a big fan of his.
Really? Oh, I'm sorry then.
Why are you sorry?
Matt Engarde was just arrested, pal. On suspicion of murdering Juan Carita.
What? Why was Mr. Engarde arrested?
Sorry, pal, but that's not something I can tell you. We just started the investigation, so we don't want any leaks.
Looks like yet another Steel Samurai hero is in hot water. Mr. Nick, if Mystic Maya knew about this...
Yeah, I know. She'd make me take this case. I know.
Hey, so what's going on, Mr. Wright?
It looks like Juan Carita has been killed.
What? Juan
It looks like he was murdered, and a suspect was arrested. That suspect is Mr. Matt Ongard.
You're joking, right?
Nope, they arrested the Nickel Samurai on suspicion of murdering the Jammin' Ninja.
Oh, not again. I feel sick.
Again?
About a year ago, something just like this happened, Pearls.
I still can't believe. No way, Matt would.
What's Mr. Powers got in his hand?
Oh, before I forget, this is for you, Mr. Wright. I got this from the bellboy that came by earlier.
For me? But why?
I don't know. All he said was it was for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the attorney. Yeah, Matt is the most energetic and active actor out there right now. The Nickel Samurai really sealed his place as a pop idol, but he kept adding fuel to the fire of his rival with Juan anyway.
Mr. Juan, he's the Jammin' Ninja, right?
Those two would butt heads on everything they could think of, but I'd say that Matt was the one who almost always came out on top.
I guess some people only know how to relate to others by butting heads like a ram.
Juan said that he'd take Matt on this time too, so he joined a rival TV show.
And that was the Jammin' Ninja?
The stylish Nickel Samurai and the burning Jammin' Ninja. Well, things turned messy real fast with those two using their shows for their war. And the final tally? Look around. It's pretty obvious how things ended up.
Matt even won the Grand Prix this year. The final win over his rival, I guess. Mr. Ongar was going to hold a press conference, wasn't he?
That's what I heard. Though if you wanted to get technical about it, it was the Nickel Samurai's conference.
The Nickel Samurais?
Yeah, he was supposed to wear his costume and give the press conference that way.
He was going to be in costume? But why?
I'm not sure. They don't keep me in the loop anymore.
I was just wondering, where's Mystic Maya? She's been gone a long time.
Now that she mentions it, Maya was only going to answer a phone call.
Maybe she got lost? I'll take a quick look around for her.
Ah!
What is it, Mr. Nick?
Huh? I'm not sure. It's coming from this transceiver. Yes, hello? Right here. Is this Mr. Phoenix Wright, the attorney? And you are? You don't need to know who I am. I think you have other things to be concerning yourself with, such as...
Help! Nick! Mystic Maya!
Maya! So, Mr. Wright, wouldn't you agree that the more important issue is the fate of the girl? Her fate? Does he mean what I think he means? Maya, where are you? Are you hurt? Come now, don't fall apart on me yet. No, this can't be. Now that I have your attention, Mr. Attorney, I have a modest proposal for you. If you do what I require, then I will return to you your valuable item unharmed. What is this called again in your fancy lawyer terms? Kidnapping for ransom. Yes, that's it. This is a kidnapping.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
My sight. Everything's fading away. Maya! Maya's been kidnapped! You're there, Mr. Attorney, are you there? How much? How much do you want? Very good, Mr. Attorney. I'm glad you have such a good grasp of the situation. Hurry up and state your condition, and then return Maya. Money is not what I seek. What? What I want is a certain verdict. I would like a complete acquittal. Complete acquittal? What in the world have you done to need? I am not the person you will be representing. What? You are currently at the Gatewater Hotel, are you not? And I know that a murder has just taken place there.
Juan Carita was killed, and the suspect is Matt Ongard.
You are, as expected, quite on top of things, Mr. Attorney. Now then, what I want is very simple. I want you to obtain a complete acquittal for Matt Ongard.
Matt Ongard? But why?
He did not kill anyone. I can attest to that. However...
However what?
However, someone is framing him for the murder. A very smart someone who is setting him up to take the fall.
If I agree and do what he wants, can I believe he'll keep his end of the bargain?
You are, of course, at liberty to take me at my word or not. However, there is one thing you can take as fact. Right now, your very precious item is with me in my possession.
Help! Nick! Maya!
You have 2 days. Of course, tonight you will be in questioning with the police. But the trial is in 2 days. At that trial, you will win a not guilty verdict. Remember, you only have one chance. One chance, Mr. Attorney.
One? You expect me to get a not guilty in one trial day?
Yes, exactly. I don't believe I was wrong in choosing you, so don't let me down.
Ah!
Oh, yes, that's right. Now that I am playing the role of the kidnapper, I can't pass up this chance to say, and don't even think about calling the cops. Not great, but you get the idea.
Damn it! Who the hell are you?
Very well, I'll tell you that much. My name is De Killer.
Mr. Nick, where's Mystic Maya? She's been kidnapped. No, it's all my fault. If only I had gone with Mystic Maya. It's not your fault, Pearls. But it is. But it is Mystic Maya.
Mr. Wright, I think we should tell the police what's going on.
No, we can't do that. If we do, who knows what will happen to Maya? Mr. Nick, what about the detective we saw earlier? Detective Gumshoe. Yes, that's it. Wait here and I'll be right back.
Alright, I'll take care of Pearl while you're away.
What? Ransom? Shh, not so loud. The ransom is complete acquittal from Matt Ongard.
Wait, the deal is complete acquittal in exchange for Maya, you mean? Then this means Matt Ongard is obviously the killer, pal! No doubt about it!
But the guy said that Mr. Ongard is innocent.
You really believe what a kidnapper tells you, pal?
Well, I guess he has a point. If Ongard really is innocent, then why the kidnapping?
And on top of everything else, there's all this evidence we keep finding. Huh? The forensics team's having a field day back there. But it's strange. There's so much evidence that it feels like something's wrong.
There's too much evidence. Is that possible? Actually, didn't the kidnapper say something about Ongard being set up?
Anyway, looks like you won't be leaving here tonight, pal. Just sit tight and cooperate with the investigation. Tomorrow you can start yours.
Alright. Isn't there another way?
Hey, we've also got to be careful about pushing the kidnapper the wrong way.
You're right. Ow, my head! Where am I? I wonder if I'm still in that hotel. What happened to me? Nick! Pearly! Come on, you guys, this isn't funny anymore!
I see you have awoken.
Ah! Who are you?
Me? I am known as De Killer.
The killer? You mean like an assassin? I'm too young to die.
Don't worry, you are not my target. For now, anyway.
Ah! Nick, where are you? Help me.
Yes, that's right. Only one person can save you now, and that is Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Huh? What? Nick's going to save me?
Calm down and be a good girl. Think of this as a business transaction.
A business transaction?
I am going to contact him now. I hope you'll cooperate and play your assigned role well.
Nick! What's going to happen to me? Nick! Pearly! Sis!
Is this Mr. Phoenix Wright, the attorney? You don't need to know who I am. I think you have other things to be concerning yourself with, such as...
Good morning!
Morning, Pearls.
Mr. Nick, come on! Let's hurry and go see Mr. On Guard!
We have to wait a bit, Pearls. Those visiting hours don't start until 9 a.m., so...
Oh, I see. Mystic Maya, if only I had gone with you.
Poor Pearls. She's been like this since last night. We managed to get home somehow. Yesterday's evening. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe gently holding her by the hand and leading her here. But by the looks of it, I don't think Pearls got any sleep at all last night.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, she's alright, right?
Yeah, she's alright. Either way, I'm going to save her. You can trust me on that.
Please, help her.
I'm only able to stay this calm and collected because Pearls is doing the crying for the both of us. We couldn't wait for visiting hours to start, so Pearls and I came down here early to visit one nickel samurai charged with the murder of the Jammin Ninja. Good morning. How are you today? I know this situation might be a little tough for you. Oh, sorry, dude. I already signed up. Excuse me? I already have life insurance. I signed up a long time ago because my job is, you know. Oh, no. We're not insurance salespeople. Really? Dude, I really don't need that right now either. Fire extinguishers. I mean, this building isn't my house, so... No. We're not here to sell you fire extinguishers either. I'm a lawyer. My name is Phoenix Wright. A lawyer? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna ask my manager, okay?
The Nickel Samurai sure is a strange person, isn't he?
I think strange is an understatement. Sorry about that. You're just in time. Huh? You're a lawyer dude, right? My manager's looking for a good one right now, so how about it?
Mr. Nick, this is our chance!
I have to make him let me take his case. I have to! Sorry to intrude, but I would like to ask you a few personal questions. That's okay, but dude, my autobiography's coming out soon, so... If I say stuff without the publisher's approval, then I'm gonna be in real hot water. Hold on a sec, I'm gonna ask my publisher, okay?
Mr. On Guard is so lucky. He has so many people he can talk to.
I don't know if he actually has anyone he can really talk to. Sorry about that. Like I thought, the publisher said it'd be real bad if I said anything, dude. Does he have a mind of his own? Mr. On Guard, I would like to ask you about the murder. Oh, are you covering this for a tabloid as a side job, dude? Well, if you want my statement on this, you should ask through my staff. No, I'm not asking on behalf of a tabloid. Hold on a sec, I'm gonna ask the president of the studio, okay?
Is he alright, Mr. Nick?
If we're talking about Mr. On Guard's brain here, I wouldn't put my money on it. Sorry about that. The studio president said, even Neo Mount Fuji itself knows that I'm not the murderer.
Mr. Nick, what's Neo Mount Fuji?
It's a mountain in the city of Neo Old Tokyo, the city the Nickel Samurai protects. What's that? It's a ticket for the press conference. You were going to give one after winning the Grand Prix, right?
Huh? Me? Yes, while you were in costume, no less. I never heard anything like that, dude. I only heard about the stage show. I always leave that kind of stuff to my manager. He didn't know? That's odd. Mr. Nick, what are you going to do with that? I don't know yet, but I figured I could at least show it to him. Is that a transceiver? Hey, it looks like a real nice one, too. I got it as a present from someone. Interesting. I've also been instructed to take your case. Is that what you heard from the transceiver? Yes. Dude, that's terrible. Don't let some disembodied voice boss you around. This coming from a man with a cell phone on his wrist. Well, dude, I think it's about time for me to get going. Please, wait! I really need to take your case. There's always other people in need of a lawyer, right? Want me to introduce you to a few? Please let Mr. Nick represent you. Man, oh man, lawyers these days. Now you dudes use kids to pull in clients too? If you don't take me as your lawyer, then DeKiller is going to... Wait, what did you just say? DeKiller. DeKiller? What's he doing? He looks like he's mulling something over. Alright, dude. I accept your terms. Huh? I'll let you represent me in court. We did it! We did it, Mr. Nick! Yeah. I don't feel any better for it, and he doesn't look too happy either. Go ahead, ask me anything. I'll help out as much as I can. Man, I thank my lucky stars that people know my name. Well, you're quite the hero, and you're in the national spotlight. I didn't know who he is. Does that mean I'm not a good citizen? It's really great to be the Nickel Samurai. Dude, lately I just keep on getting more and more popular. True enough. The Nickel Samurai is very popular among high schoolers and secretaries right now. I guess Mr. On Guard has a way of catching the eyes of women. Do you know my motto? Refreshing like a spring breeze. That's what I am. A spring breeze. That's why this kind of scandal is disastrous, dude. I mean, even if I get out of here tomorrow, it's still gonna look bad. But everyone loves a good scandal. Can you tell me about your activities last night? After I got the award, I took a break and went back to my room. I had that post-ceremony stage show to do, so I was in my Nickel Samurai costume. And you were alone the entire time? My manager was running around being busy, so yeah. Because of the press conference you were supposed to hold after the show? I told you, dude, I have no idea about any press conference, alright? That's strange. I thought the Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. Anyway, when I was leaving my room, that's when I noticed it was kind of noisy. Mr. Corrida was already dead at that time? Yeah, that's what I gathered anyway from my manager. I'm beginning to gather that this guy can't do a thing on his own. And that's when the detective in the green coat showed up. He searched me, and then out of the blue, the dude arrested me. Do you know why you were arrested? I guess maybe my full body search went badly. Did they find something on you? They found a button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. A button? I don't get it either. It was caught in the pleats of my samurai pants, or hakama. Ah! Dude, I really think someone planted it there, though. I'm serious. I wonder if that's what really happened. About you and the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. What sort of... That's got nothing to do with anything, dude. Man, with that face of his, you can't even tell he's the same age as me. And he wanted to try to make a Jammin' Ninja movie, even though we all know it'd fail. The Nickel Samurai still won in the end, right? Yeah, I took the Grand Prix by storm. So why would I, the winner, have any reason to kill the guy anyway? Dude, you'd think it'd be the other way around, you know? I guess this is about all I'm going to get out of him. Mr. Nick? Yeah? Let's ask one last thing. Let's test Mr. On Guard to see if he really is innocent or not. But we can do that? Yes. If you use this. Maya's Magatama. He won't be able to hide any secrets from you, Mr. Nick. I'm sure of it. I get it. Mr. On Guard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Please answer me honestly. What is it, dude? Did you kill Mr. Juan Corrida? Please put the phone away and answer this question yourself. Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Corrida, okay? Well, Mr. Nick? Nothing. Not a chain or lock in sight. Which means it's alright to trust him. Yeah, it does appear that way. Well, at least I can breathe a sigh of relief knowing my client is innocent. The trial's tomorrow, right? I'm counting on you, dude. Ugh. Always scares me when the ice slides right into my face. Well, at least we were able to get Mr. Matt on guard as our client, and we know that he didn't do it, which is very important. So now what should we do? Well, the trial is tomorrow, and we only get this one chance. There's only one way to prove Mr. On Guard's innocence. We have to find the real killer. Okay, then let's start looking. Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't come in without... Good morning. Hold on, it's you! What is going on around here? I heard poor Juan was killed. Is that true? It's a bad rerun is what this is. Another steel samurai doing the most evil of deeds. You know, that's not entirely... I'll have you know that I was a huge fan of Juan's. Why, oh, why do all the stars I'm interested in drop one by one like flies? It's always been that way. Ever since our little girl and the class hamster was fine, it's always my turn. If you can hate the other kids, start calling me Queen Reaper. I swear. Whoever you naming your evil spell does within minutes. Actually, I wanted to ask you about the murder and what happened. Don't push me, boy! Mr. Nick? I couldn't hear everything she said because she was talking too fast. Miss Oldbag, could you please speak a little slower? Don't boss me around, you spiky-haired smarty pants! My dear Hammer died a year ago in that dreadful murder, and only recently did I finally find a star that makes this heart go ba-dump again. I don't know what to say. I ask you, why does every star I cheer for always end up kicking the bucket? I'd watch your words. No one's going to get away with saying anything bad about my Juan. But I haven't said anything. Well, I don't believe a word that woman says anyway. Huh? What woman? That irritating backwater girl with the afro and the horrible country accent. I mean, what is that manner of speaking supposed to be? And why does she never stop? Honestly, women these days, they don't know the meaning of the word modesty. When I was a young maiden, I was so beautiful, even that flowers in the field blushed. But that's why there's some pressed flowers or red stars or real beautiful love forms or... Pearls, are you thirsty? A little. Okay, I'll get you some juice or something. Thank you very much. Hey, are you paying attention? Youngins today! So I'm guessing Miss Oldbag heard everything from Lotta. I want to ask you about what happened around the time of the murder. I don't know anything about that. I was here getting ready. Getting ready? For what? The show, of course. Well, and the press conference afterwards. Cue mysterious music for the magical press conference. Anyway, I don't know anything about the murder. Ah, I see. But if you're talking about what I saw, that's different. I saw it very clearly. What? I saw the most important moment of the night. The most important moment? You don't mean... Oh, so now you treat me with respect, you disrespectful child. When you speak to your elders, you should always be polite. Really, kids today. Please tell me, what did you see? The murder last night was gruesome, wasn't it? But then, what murder isn't? Please don't stray onto another tangent. Please. If you want to hear more, then show your respect and bring this lady a present. Looks like the investigation is still in full swing. The hotel staff and the police are running around like a bunch of headless chickens. I wonder if we could do any investigating of our own in this kind of atmosphere. Well, gotta roll up the sleeves and try, I guess. Hey, you're here! Been waiting for you, Mr. Lawyer. Lotta. Hey, Mr. Cop fella, the thief showed his face! What? Arrest him, put him on trial, find him guilty, give him the death penalty! What's wrong, Lotta? Are you feeling alright? Looked here and there and up and down the mountain, but it ain't here! So why don't you just hurry up and give it back to me, you creep? What are you looking for? My camera! C-A-M-E-R-A! It's my lifeblood! I'm gonna die without my $700 camera! Your camera? Look, don't lots of people say the criminal always goes back to the scene of the crime? And looky looky, here you are! Yep, here I am, faced with a lot of trouble. Huh? So you lost your camera? It ain't no ordinary camera. You buy it in the store and it's $1,600 brand new. Huh? But didn't you just say you bought it for $700? I had a nice long talk with the guy at the store, about 5 hours I reckon. I made this itty bitty scratch on it and the manager got all huffed up in the face. He gave me his talking to and was real mean about it too. He done made me cry at that. When did you lose your camera? Last night after the murder happened. Must have been when I was busy running around looking into things. That's when I lost sight of my dear darling expensive sweetie. Lotta, what did you capture with that expensive camera of yours? I don't rightly know. I snapped a shot of anything that caught my eye, so I don't remember. And besides, I couldn't get anything from my big scoop. I wonder if Lotta's missing camera is even connected to the murder. Lotta, please tell me what you know about what happened at the time of the murder. Well, from before the ceremony last night, I was hanging around here in this area. Yeah, actually, I was here until around the time Mr. Ongar was arrested. What were you doing here? You sure you went to school, city boy? Wherever Lotta Hart goes, there's a story to be found. A big scoop to be had. A big scoop? I told you before, I'm gonna be the best tabloid photographer the world's ever seen. Reckon course that means I'm always looking in for the perfect shot. I wonder what scoop she was after this time. Although, I was also on the lookout for the other stars that were here, so maybe I wasn't here the entire time. Lotta, are you sure you weren't here the entire time, so you could take a picture for your big scoop? Well, maybe I was, but that's what real journalists do. I got some juicy inside info, so I thought to myself, why not get a picture for proof? What kind of story was it that you would hang around here? Oops, sorry, Mr. Lawyer. Can't be telling you that. Trade secret, you know? Not again. Why does everyone have something to hide? We've been stopped, haven't we? Haha, yeah! Take that, Mr. Lawyer! I'm glad someone around here is happy. Miss Lotta and your I rule smile. Where are we? We're in Mr. Matt Ongar's dressing room. This is our client's room. You're Mr. Ongar's lawyer, correct? I gathered as much. I also looked for lawyers on my end, but to no avail. How did you know I'm his lawyer? You were just saying that he is your client. In a situation like this, the only person who would use such a word would be his lawyer. Wow! It's a simple deduction, really. The trial is tomorrow, and Mr. Ongar's situation is looking rather grim. So you came here, one stop in your mad dash to find clues to build this case, correct? Well, you're not totally right, but you're not totally off either. It's really not the time to be showing off, Mr. Nick. I'm Adrian Andrews. I hate to waste time, so let's get down to business. All right. She may be of small stature, but appearances can be deceiving. I assume the first thing you need to know is what everyone was doing that night, correct? Yes, that is correct. Then I will tell you. Before the awards ceremony, I had dinner with Mr. On Guard. In this very room, I might add.
Dinner? What did you eat?
I told you, I hate to waste time with trifling details. If you take a look at the table yourself, you wouldn't need to ask me.
I bet she's a lot of fun at parties.
When the award show was starting, I headed for Viola Hall.
And after the show ended, you came back to this room?
No, I had some small errands to run. I helped with the preparations in the lobby.
Oh, preparations for the post-ceremony show, I guess.
When it was time for the post-ceremony show, I came back to call for Mr. On Guard. After that, I went to visit Mr. Kurita.
And that's when you found his body, isn't it?
You really held strong through everything.
Yeah, she does seem to be mentally tough as nails. So about you and...
Stop right there. You aren't seriously about to ask how Mr. On Guard and I are related, are you?
Sorry.
Yeah, I have no idea how he could choose you as his lawyer.
Why did she have to go and say something like that?
Mr. Nick, calm down and hang in there. I'll give you a shoulder rub to relieve your stress later, alright? I already gave you my name earlier, but I'll add that I'm Mr. On Guard's manager.
His manager? Speaking of managers, did the victim, Mr. Kurita, have one?
No, he did not.
He didn't?
Global Studios is a very different policy from Worldwide Studios in that Worldwide Studios does not assign individual managers to their stars.
I see.
This industry is very ruthless and unforgiving. Actually, you look quite ruthless and unforgiving yourself to your poor partner. Dragging a little girl like her to places like this? Honestly. You're wrong! I'm doing this to help Mystic Maya!
Pearls, calm down and hang in there. I'll buy you a juice later, alright? Did you know the victim, Mr. Kurita?
Yes, I knew him. The world is such a small place, after all. Did you know about his rivalry with the Nickel Samurai? Honestly, they were like children when it came to that. Time and time again, those two competed with each other over the most trivial things. If either one of them wasn't so stubborn, then maybe no one would have needed to die.
I've got a hunch that this woman knows more than she's letting on. She must know why Juan Kurita was killed.
Do you have any ideas as to why Mr. Kurita was murdered? Why would you ask me about such a thing?
I'm just doing my job. So do you have any ideas? Miss Andrews?
Sorry, but there's nothing more I have to add on this conversation. Is it a psyche lock, Mr. Nick?
Yes, there's getting to be more and more of these lately.
Mr. Nick, where are we?
We're in Mr. Juan Kurita's room, Pearls.
Mr. Kurita?
The victim. Which makes this the crime scene, too. Oh, it's you! So, what's happened? The kidnapper? Has he contacted you again? Not yet. He probably won't until we win Mr. On Guard's acquittal. You doing okay, pal? Hanging in there? I just want Maya to be alright. We don't have a lot of time left, but I'm going to help you as much as I can, pal. Can you do that? Even if we want to look around the crime scene? Just this once. Special circumstances, right, pal? I'll even tell you everything I know, but you've got to keep it quiet. It's my neck on the line here.
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. I got you guys a map of the hotel, pal. Here you go, little missy.
Wow, you're giving it to me? Thank you.
Wouldn't want you to get lost in a hotel too big for its own good.
Mr. Nick, I got a map!
That's great, Pearls.
But Mr. Nick, I can't read what it says.
Do you know what was the cause of death? Well, technically, the final autopsy report isn't out yet, but one look at the victim should tell you, pal. It should? Yeah, here's a picture. There's a knife in his chest. Yeah, pal, that's the murder weapon. So he was stabbed to death. They're looking at the fingerprints down at the lab right now.
There were fingerprints on the knife?
Yep, and it looks like they're pretty sure they're Mr. Onguard's prints, pal.
That's bad. Real bad. Why was Mr. Onguard arrested?
Because we had evidence on him.
Evidence?
It looks like the victim, Juan Carita, really put up a big fight.
Yeah, one look at the crime scene and you can tell. There's signs of a struggle everywhere.
Well, yeah, during the fight, his button came off.
Mr. Onguard said something about a button. Something like one of the Jammin' Ninja's buttons got caught in his hakama.
But that's not all.
What?
There was a witness, pal.
A witness? Who is it?
That lady, Miss Oldbag.
Please, anyone but her.
The prosecution has plenty of evidence to make a solid case. Not to mention there's something around where the Vic was that's a little off.
Something that's a little off? As in,
that's for you to figure out, pal.
All right, let's try to figure it out, Mr. Nick. Wow, there are a lot of bears! Alarm clock ones, collector's editions, stuffed teddies, plastic models. It's pretty overwhelming. Is there a kind of bear he doesn't have? There's even a few in the trash can. Yeah, I get the feeling maybe the guy didn't really like bears. Poor teddies. It's hard to bear with all of these problems. Rawr! I don't think I want to bear with the trauma the last case caused me. What's wrong, Mr. Nick? It looks like Mr. Carita had dinner last night. This bottle, it's tomato juice. We had a lot of food at the award show last night, but I wonder if the stars had gone off stage after only eating a meager meal like this. Bottles of cosmetics are scattered all over the floor. This is probably where Mr. Carita fought his assailant. What are these bits of glass from? A flower vase, maybe? There are flowers on the floor, but I don't know what they are. You don't know much about flowers, do you, Mr. Nick? It's a beautiful wine glass, and there's tomato juice in it. Ew, tomato juice. I don't really like it much. There's a bottle of it on the table over there. That's probably where this came from. But doesn't it seem weird? What seems weird? I mean, everything else is scattered all over the floor. She's right. The flower vase was broken and the makeup is strewn everywhere. Why is this glass the only thing that's still alright? This is a guitar case, I guess. A little beat up, but still usable. That's strange. The guitar is not here. Maybe he forgot to bring it to the show? The Mystic Maya, she said the bright red guitar was the Jammin' Ninja's signature item. That's true. Huh? This guitar case is wet, but it's only wet on the top of the lid. Yeah, there's no water inside the case. This is water, isn't it? So about this wine glass.
Ah, so you noticed it, pal. The whole crime scene was a mess, but this glass was the only thing that was untouched.
You noticed that too, Detective Gumshoe?
No, actually, Miss Von Karma noticed it first.
Yeah, Pearl's noticed it before me too. Hey, wait a minute. So, does that mean Miss Von Karma's here at the hotel?
Yeah, she's around. Man, you're gonna be in so much trouble, pal. Especially if she catches you in here.
Well, you can bet the instant I see her, I'll be running the 1,000-meter dash. What's that beeping noise, Mr. Nick? I've heard this sound somewhere before.
It's Miss Von Karma.
Huh?
For some reason, whenever I hear that sound, she pops out of nowhere and whips me.
Come to think of it, that's exactly what happened the last time.
Sorry, I gotta make myself scarce. Later, pal.
Yo! At last you reveal your true nature, Mr. Phoenix, right? Would it be too much to ask for you to be nice to me for a change? So, you're the type to steal information from pitifully hopeless detectives. That's very dishonorable of you! Ow! Hey, don't you dare run away, scruffy McTrenchcoat! I didn't think the detectives of this country could be this pitiful. Detective, come over here for a second. Yow! I feel better knowing at least you were man enough to face your punishment. He was so scared he just froze up on the spot. Mr. Phoenix Wright, you have soiled my perfect prosecution record. I'll never forget that. At this time, victory is mine. Victory is yours? Is that all this means to you? What? Come, Scruffy, the investigation briefing is about to begin.
Yes, sir.
This isn't over yet. I swear on my family's honor. Ow, what did she throw at me now? What is this?
Well, I guess this means I gotta get back to the precinct now, pal. If you ever need me, come down to the Criminal Affairs Department, alright? And if you can, try not to let Miss Von Karma see you. Oh, Mr. Wright, how are you?
Mr. Powers, have you been here the entire time?
Yeah, people connected to the murder aren't allowed to go home, let alone leave.
Can you tell me a little more about the Nickel Samurai TV show?
Okay. The Nickel Samurai is an action hero program aimed towards kids. It's the sequel to The Steel Samurai.
I see.
This time there are 3 samurai brothers, Aluminum Samurai, Tin Samurai, and of course the Nickel Samurai. It's a love Y in Neo Old Tokyo.
I see. Wait, a love what?
A love Y. This girl, Sayo, works at a tea shop and all 3 guys fall for her at the same time.
Oh, I guess the Y shape is like the 3 brothers colliding over this one girl.
Anyway, Sayo is actually the daughter of the evil Strawberry Clan's leader.
Sounds like an unusual situation, like Romeo and Juliet, ×3.
Yeah. Strange thing is, this sort of forbidden love story is really big with the office ladies. Yes, Pearl?
What happens next? I want to know. Miss Sayo, does Miss Sayo fall in love? She does, doesn't she?
Every Sunday at 8 a.m.
I'm going to stop watching Kids Masterpiece Theater starting this week. I can't believe she's really considering it. So what's the Jammin' Ninja TV show like?
It started from a remake of an old movie, to tell you the truth. The Jammin' Ninja, like the samurai shows, is geared towards kids. It's the story of a ninja who can't scale a wall but became a big pop star anyway.
What?
He was a really lousy ninja, absolutely couldn't do any ninja things right at all. But boy, could he sing. With his trusty bright red guitar in hand, he took the ancient world by storm.
A ninja with a bright red guitar?
And then the final fight in front of his beloved Princess Misula. Jammin' versus the Muromachi 5. Suddenly, our brave hero catches a not-so-jammin' cold the night before Battle 3.
Aw, that's too bad for him.
Yeah, but this kind of pop music-based love story is something high school girls really like. Yes, Pearl?
What happens next? I want to know. The Jammin' Ninja, will he be able to sing? What about Princess Misula?
Every Sunday at 8 a.m.
Which show should I watch? I can't believe she's really considering it.
Hey, that's Miss Andrews. She's Matt's manager. Actually, I was interested in her for a little bit. Just a little.
So Mr. Powers likes this type of woman. Now, what do you know about Miss Andrews?
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't really know her, you know? There's sort of a small rumor going around about her right now.
A rumor?
If you're interested, I'd be glad to share what I know.
He's so happy he looks like a lion that's just found his next meal. Would you mind telling me about this gossip?
Oh, so you are interested in it. I figured you would be.
Yeah.
I have such a weakness for celebrity gossip, too.
Oh, really? You too, huh?
Yeah, so take a look at this.
Looks like a tabloid Miss Oldbag would read. Alright, let's see here. Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous.
To the mysterious yet beautiful manager, to the stars, Miss A.A. You see now, don't you?
What?
You could stop pretending to be in the dark, Mr. Right. Juan Carita didn't have a manager of his own, which means if we're talking about a certain manager with the initials AA...
Adrian Andrews?
Yes, exactly. This is big news.
But it seems kind of odd. That woman, Miss Andrews, together with the biggest rival of her client?
It's that wonderful thing that can only happen between two people.
Mr. Powers looks so happy. Burls is just following along, not having any idea as to why he's smiling.
Well, like the saying goes, one man's garbage is another man's treasure.
Alright, I'll be honest with you for now. Then please, tell us what you saw. But, oh, what a waste. And here I have a perfectly good chance to have a little fun at you youngins' expense. I am a little devil after all. Doesn't that imply you aren't a good person? Alright, I'll give you what you want. Whoops. Mr. Nick, what's this piece of paper? It's called an autograph. Autograph? The paper's got Mr. Carita's name written on it, so it's his autograph. I can't read it at all. To be honest, I've never seen writing that looks like this. It's a special way of writing called cursive. Look here, see how it says, "To my dearest Wendy" in more normal letters here? This sloppy, unreadable writing! It's crazy and cruel to give this to someone! Hold on. Wendy. I've heard that name somewhere before. Well, the immersion's ruined. That's Juan's autograph! Yes, it is. And it even says "To my dearest Wendy" on it! That's me, right? Right? My name is Wendy Oldbag, so that Wendy has to be me, right? Well, it may say Wendy, but somehow I don't think Juan had this Wendy in mind when he signed it. Oh, please give it to me. Let me have it, please. I can't let you have it just like that. Yes, I know. Then how about an exchange? Wow, she must really want this autograph. My offer isn't good enough for you? Fine, Mr. Wright, you win. Wendy Oldbag, ready to open up her heart. All for my dearest Juan. I feel bad for you now, huh? I tell you, I saw him that night. I saw him coming out of Juan's room. You're kidding! Oh no! It was about 10 minutes before Juan's body was discovered. It was just a coincidence. I was on my way to the toilet, minding my own business.
And did you tell that to the police?
Well, of course. I thought I could get a gift certificate or two out of it, maybe more. Gift certificate? I've been recruited again for that part at the trial. You know, the trial tomorrow. This time you're gonna get it. I'm gonna work hard to get your client pronounced guilty. But Mr. Ongard hasn't done anything bad. I don't care about details like that. I know he did my dear poor Juan in. I just do. That yellow-bellied chicken. A yellow-bellied chicken? I wonder what that would look like. I trust my senses. I know when someone did something bad, and I say he did it.
What did Mr. Ongard ever do to her to deserve this? What did Mr. Ongard do to you to make you so...
You don't know? That guy, he framed my dear Juan. He created that scandal that plagued poor Juan. Mr. Nick.
What is it?
What's a scandal?
Oh, I'll tell you about that after we get home, okay?
Poor Juan, led astray by the wiles of that vile temptress. Mr. Nick, what do viles and wild temptress mean?
How about we just listen to what Miss Oldbag has to say for now, okay, Pearls? So, Miss Oldbag, who is this woman you're talking about?
Adrian Andrews, of course. Who else? That guy, he shoved the girl onto Juan on purpose.
His own manager? But why?
I thought lawyers were smart. It was to create a scandal to make Juan lose face. That girl drove Juan on into a scandal that dragged his reputation through the mud.
Sounds like a pretty standard definition of a scandal to me. Why do you know about that anyway, Miss Oldbag?
I'm one of Juan's biggest fans. I'm always out there gathering information. There's nothing I don't know.
And do you have proof that Mr. Ongard did what you say he did?
Next week's issue of a certain magazine says so.
Of course, a tabloid.
Next week? Doesn't that mean it's something people don't know about yet?
Why would Miss Oldbag have information like that? And where did she get it? Lotta, will you please answer my questions? On the night of the murder, why were you loitering around the victim's room?
I told you, didn't I? From my scoop.
What I want to know about are the details of this scoop.
That's not something I can tell you. I mean, that there's my bread and butter.
All right then, an unpleasant tabloid photographer looking for a scoop. I'm going to say that you were looking into a scandal.
Grr.
Could it be that you, Lotta Hart, were looking for a break with a huge story? Perhaps an unfolding scandal between Juan Carita and this person?
This woman!
She's Adrian Andrews, Matt Ongard's manager. The Nickel Samurai's manager caught secretly meeting with his rival, the Jammin' Ninja. It would be the hottest story of the season, wouldn't it?
You're pretty good at this guessing thing, Mr. Lawyer. But you can't make up any old thing and think it'll make the papers. You gotta have backup.
Backup?
Yeah, you gotta have what's it, news sauce?
You mean news source?
That's it! So show me something that shows that Juan guy had something with Miss Andrews.
This is the article from a certain weekly tabloid, Jammin' Midnight Rendezvous. To the mysterious yet beautiful manager to the stars, Miss A.A.
Ah!
Mr. Carita didn't have a manager of his own. What's more, his rival, Mr. Ongard's manager, Adrian Andrews, she has the initials A.A. You saw this article and then thought to take some pictures of them as proof. That's why you were lurking around Mr. Carita's door last night.
Wah! You were looking into Mr. Kurita and Miss Andrews' affair, weren't you? You got it! I was gonna get myself a scoop by catching them in a secret meeting. No, but there's already an article about it in one of the weekly tabloid magazines. It's no longer breaking news. What you just say? Her initials are AA. What kind of vague thing is that? There ain't no proof of nothing. People are gonna want to see real proof. Well, at least I do, so that's what I was doing, getting photos. Oh. I'm gonna whip up the reader's interest with some gossip and a little misleading, then spice it up a little and have myself an exclusive story. Wow, Lotta, nice journalistic integrity you got there. Here, I already finished writing up my spicy article, you know, but the paper I wrote it on, my note to myself, it's gone. Your note to yourself? It was inside the case of my $1,600 camera. They done run off together. I came here for my big story, didn't come here to have my treasure disappear on me. Yeah, I understand. It's enough to make a gal go bonkers, I tell you. What's with people now anyway? I never thought I'd see the day when someone done steal something from me. You really want that note back, huh? I've gotten no idea why, though. The story on that note is probably a bold-faced lie. Detective Gumshoe said they had an investigation briefing. Yeah. Oh, he's back.
Hey, so you came, pal.
Why the blunt greeting?
Because there's nothing to be friendly or happy about.
What do you mean by that?
Well, things look perfect this time around. The evidence and testimony are airtight.
But we can't just roll over and die. We have to stay positive. So what do you mean the evidence is airtight?
I can't give you all the details, pal, but there's two big pieces.
Two?
And both of them are in this photo. The first is the button that's missing from the victim's chest.
That's the button that you found during your body search of Mr. On Guard.
Yep, I found it in the folds of the Nickel Samurai's special pants.
And the second one is?
The knife in his chest, pal. The fingerprints on the knife in his chest, to be exact.
Fingerprints? Whose are they?
You didn't even have to ask, little missy. It's obvious. They're Mad On Guards.
Tomorrow's trial. Talk about being stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what about this airtight testimony?
It's that old security lady, Miss Oldbag.
I thought so.
What do you mean you thought so? Did she tell you something, pal?
Well...
And I even told her not to open that mouth of hers and blab to anyone.
Her blab knob is stuck on 10 and there's no turning it down. Trust me.
Yeah, well, Miss Oldbag saw it all, pal. She saw Mr. On Guard come out of the victim's room around the estimated time of death.
No way!
We're pretty interested in this bit of gossip ourselves.
The scandal with Mr. Kurita? But why?
Well, 2 years ago, a woman committed suicide.
Suicide?
Her name was Celeste Impax. And she was Juan Kurita's manager.
The victim's manager?
But that's not all, pal. Miss Impax was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. She taught Miss Andrews everything she knew about the business from square one.
Her mentor? A woman who was both Mr. Kurita's manager and Miss Andrews' mentor. Could her suicide have something to do with this case?
You want to know more about her, pal? She was the victim's manager, who is also Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor. It's been 2 years since her suicide, and now those two are linked again by another death. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but... Whoa!
I'm getting sick of dealing with one foolish idiot after another. Miss Von Karma! You can't seem to stop allying yourself with the enemy, can you? I don't need a traitor in my midst.
You don't mean...
I do. Scruffy, you have 30 minutes to get out of here. You are no longer needed. Goodbye. That's...
Wait! Please wait, sir! If I don't get this month's pay, I'll stop!
Quiet! If it weren't for traitors like you, I would have won. Who? That voice. Edgeworth! It's been a long time, right? This person, this is Mr. Edgeworth? What am I going to do with you? Still blaming others when things go wrong? You haven't changed a bit, Franziska. You! How dare you show your face to me without a shred of shame upon it! You've soiled the Von Karma name, dragged it through the mud. You even ran away with your tail between your legs like the ill-bred dog you are. Are you talking about the Von Karma family creed? To be perfect in every way? Then let's hear it, Franziska. How are things going? I hear you are having a rough time maintaining perfection in this country. You seem to be getting crushed under the weight of it all. That's why I came back. Keep your assumptions to yourself. I haven't given in yet. I won't lose. This case is mine. I'll never hand it over to you. Never. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I will see you tomorrow in court. It will be a clinical lesson on the meaning of total victory. Still the same wild mare she always was. I thought you, the prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, had gone and died. Mr. Nick? I never wanted to see you again. I think that's enough of a warm welcome for someone you haven't seen in a year. Are you going to run tomorrow's trial? You heard her, right? That wild mare hasn't given in yet, it seems. So, no, I don't think I'll be making an appearance. Your hatred of me is quite unhealthy, not to mention one-sided. But I will say one thing. You can't win on your own at the trial tomorrow. What is that supposed to mean? I have something definitive that you lack. And working together is the definition of teamwork. It's the power to find the truth. The truth? In order to understand this case, you have to understand a certain truth. Well, if you ever feel the need for my assistance, it is available to you. I'm not in charge of this case, so I can be a bit more generous with information. Just what is going on inside his head? A lot of things may have happened, however, Manfred von Karma was still my mentor, and a perfect win record is proof of a von Karma. 1 year ago, you could not establish guilt in a few cases. Are those losses the reason you suddenly disappeared from the prosecutor's office? Did you leave because you had lost your perfect win record? To think your motivation for prosecuting trials was so selfish. It'd been better for everyone if you had never come back from the dead, Edgeworth. I see. Then let me ask you something. Why do you stand in the courtroom? What is your reason? Well, with Franziska, she almost always says, "I will defeat you this time," the instant she sees me. Yeah, but the courtroom is not a personal battlefield for prosecutors and lawyers. I stand in the courtroom to defend my client. To save their lives. To save your clients, you say? Those who think only of their own ego-driven goals, those kinds of prosecutors are reprehensible to me. Even if you're a prodigy, or someone like you, Edgeworth. It looks like there is still a lot you have yet to learn. A lot I have yet to learn? Me? Well, that's enough for now. The time when you will see is coming soon enough. This woman is another key to solving this case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Carita's manager. And then, a few months later, Celeste Impax died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes, but there is still one riddle we've yet to solve. A riddle? Her suicide note. It went missing. No one could find it. A suicide note that just vanished, huh? Miss Impact's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that, there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Miss Impacts had even written such a note? There was no solid evidence, however. We did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Corrida himself. The victim? He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Corrida hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1? I don't like to look through reports. I like suicide reports even less. Worst of all are the reports that have multiple parts like that one. That has 2. 2 parts? What you just handed me is the first part of the report. Here is the second part. The second part of the report is about an attempted suicide. The attempter's name. It's Adrian Andrews!
Miss Andrews? What did she do?
She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try to kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide.
A secret?
Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Miss Andrews, dependent? Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is. What's this about Miss Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celeste Impacts. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she... Her pillar of strength, her mentor, Celeste Impacts, was gone forever. That's why. Why would that...
Is this what they call following someone to the grave?
After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others? When Celeste Impact suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then, that means her super confident attitude, it's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's ability to hold herself together. How terrible.
Oh, Miss Andrews is here. But it looks like she's talking with someone.
That's Franziska von Karma!
Miss von Karma?
What are you doing here?
Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so...
You've got some nerve following me around. Following you?
That's you, Miss von Karma. You're the one doing the following.
Pearls?
You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the little beard.
Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl.
What is that?
An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective, and with this, I know that fool's every move. So that noise we heard was this receiver. I feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews!
Yes?
Just think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? All right.
What were those two talking about?
Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she?
Why was Juan Carita murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. Engarde's life in danger by your actions?
Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Carita.
You were not that close?
That's right. I've never been good at being intimate with another person.
You're not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow I highly doubt that. You and Mr. Carita had an intimate relationship, did you not?
A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you even had half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish.
Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story.
Has to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars.
Note to self, stay on her good side.
In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that.
I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone?
Me? Need to get close to Mr. Carita? As if there was ever such a need.
Didn't you get close to Mr. Carita for this person's sake? Celeste Impax, your mentor.
How do you know about Celeste?
Miss Impax, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Carita's manager. So, I believe you got close to Mr. Carita so you could find out more about her suicide.
You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid.
Miss Andrews?
There was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing.
Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you're completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. Miss Impax's suicide note was never found, was it? It looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered her body, Mr. Carita.
Juan?
And, Miss Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Carita.
I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others.
That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are.
What?
I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Impax was someone very special to you. Miss Andrews, you nearly went through with it too, didn't you?
Went through with what?
Ending your life. Miss Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying only on yourself.
Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember.
However, that is all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on.
That's...
You were dependent on Miss Impax, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had.
Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note.
You must have heard about the police report. The one that said the police suspected Mr. Carita of hiding Miss Impax's note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close, am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes.
What do you mean?
What topic did we start this conversation on again?
It was, why was the victim killed?
Exactly. Somehow, Miss Andrews, it seems that you have become the one with the reason to want Mr. Carita dead.
Me?
Miss Impax was everything to you.
And then she died, and you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder! It's true. I am a woman who can only live in insecurity. I'm physically small and I don't really have a lot of self-confidence. I've pushed against all that, though. I've tried to live strongly. I never wanted anyone to find out the truth. Miss Andrews. This one thing, it's the one thing I wanted to take with me to the grave. It was my secret, mine and mine alone. I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a worthless human being right now, don't you? Please, Miss Andrews, all I want to know is the truth. After Celeste passed away, I heard that someone had hidden her suicide note. And that someone was Juan Corrida. Celeste, without her, I became scared. Everyone seemed like they were out to get me. So you got close to Mr. Corrida to recover her suicide note, correct? Looks like that tabloid reported the truth after all. Ironic, isn't it? Well, like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if they purposefully add fuel to the fire, they keep the celebrity world burning. But as for the suicide note, I didn't ask and wouldn't kill anyone for it. It just doesn't suit me, that's all. Well, that's enough for now. I still have work to do, so
I understand.
Oh, I have one small favor to ask. My attempted suicide, I'd like for you to keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, if people found out about my weakness, I would sooner choose to die than live.
All right, I understand. We'll keep it a secret. Miss Andrews, I guess she's the overthinking type. She probably never says anything without carefully thinking it through first.
Thank you for your discretion. Mr. Nick, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Miss Andrews has been playing with that card in her hand since a little while back.
That card? Yeah, I guess she has. Miss Andrews, what is that card you're holding?
Huh? Oh, this? I don't quite know. It just suddenly appeared in my handbag.
What is it? It looks like a seashell?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it? I honestly don't remember owning this card. I wonder where I picked it up from.
Her not remembering something clearly? Sounds like it would be a rare occurrence.
Well, I must be off. I leave Mr. On Guard in your capable hands.
Well, I think we've gathered about all we can.
What about Mystic Maya? Is she all right?
Oh, Pearls. She looks so worn out by all of this. She hasn't slept at all and has been walking all over the place with me today.
What's wrong, Mr. Nick?
Let's go back to the office for a little while. You're really tired, right?
Oh, no! I'm okay, really! I'm fine, I really am!
You don't look fine to me.
So, what now?
Well, we did find one thing out for sure. Miss Andrews has a motive.
You mean Miss Impax's suicide note?
That's right. She was also the one to discover the victim's body. Clever.
Ah, Mr. Nick, the transceiver!
Hello? Wright and Co. Law Offices. Mr. Attorney, you're not answering a phone. No. Maya! Where's Maya? As I promised, I have not gone within a few feet of her this whole time.
Phew.
Which is why, I suppose, she is absolutely famished. What?! So I suggest you win a quick acquittal, my friend. At any cost. Wouldn't you agree? Wait! Maya! Let me hear her! Very well.
Ask Maya, is that you? Sis, ask about my sis!
Maya! Maya! Damn it, he cut me off!
Mystic Maya said ask my sis, didn't she?
Sis? What does she mean by that?
Come on, Phoenix. You're a hopeless one.
Sorry. Ah! Mia!
I have a message from Maya, so come, ask me anything you want about her. How's Maya? She's safe, for now. That kidnapper is one to keep his word, it seems. I'm glad to hear she's safe. But Mia, how did you know? As soon as she was locked up, Maya called for me. I read the note she left. Then I gathered as much information about her surroundings as I could. I didn't know you could use spirit channeling like that. Pretty smart of her. The kidnapper! What's he like? I don't know. Apparently, Maya went to answer a phone call at the hotel and was drugged there. And? She didn't see the face of her attacker. Ah! Maya's locked up in a very dark place right now. I'll tell you everything I heard when I was with her. When you were with her? I'm starving. I could really go for some apple pie. I mean, at a time like this, sweets are the only way to go. I have to stay positive. He promised he wasn't going to kill me. I'm not going to die. Sis, I wonder if you're with Nick right now. Huh? Someone dropped a card here. It kinda looks like a business card, but there's no name on it. It's a picture of a seashell, I think. What a strange card. Drat, it's locked. But this door's lock seems easy enough to open. On TV, the hero always uses a plastic card or a stiff piece of cardboard. Then click, they magically open the door. I wonder if there's a card like that around here I could use. Ah, that's it! This shell card! If I use this, maybe I can get the door open. This might be my key out of here. I had a feeling this card might be useful. I'm such a genius. Alright, now if you'll excuse me, Mr. Kidnapper. I did it! Okay, now I'm getting the heck out of here. I shouldn't keep Nick waiting or worried. And now I'm afraid I do have to insist on quitting. Throat is done. Very done. Ah, shoot. I had Firefox open this whole time. Why did I have that open? Oh, well. Handy. Okay, let's see. Cooney Snacks. Let's see. They doing anything now? Ah, they're still live. Well, you know what? It was our aunt's suggestion, so let's do it. Alright then. Raid is set up. Ooh, my throat. Right, so, I kind of want to watch the Mario movie this weekend, but after that, I'm going to figure out how to restructure my schedule a little bit. Like, now that I've got affiliate, I got to do more streaming, not less. So, I got to figure out which, but I do have things still going on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so I'm trying to figure out what will be my new streaming days. But that'll be it for now. Yes, as I'm sure Aron would say, because that's what they say about every pre-affiliate they find, or really just anybody they find, really. Anyway, that will be it for tonight. Thank you for watching. Please follow if you like. Dadgummit, it's out of order again. Please follow if you liked. Thanks for watching. Peace be with you, and may the forces of evil be confused on the way to your home. Bye.